Hey everyone, welcome back to Miniature Painting 101, a series of videos that teach you all about painting miniatures from start to finish and everything in between. And this is part 148. I can't believe we're already in the 148 region. We're almost at 150, and it's going to be Chibi hair. I'm going to show you how to paint Chibi miniatures hair. Two particular trending styles of how to paint hair on the same miniature at the same time. With this Frankenstein model, we've been having so much fun painting him up. And today I'm going to show you just a typical gradient on the model and a light halo. So we're going to use gray liner. Now obviously I primed the model white, as we typically do with Chibi miniatures, and I'm using a dark matte gray from Reaper. The reason why I'm choosing gray liner is because it is a dark matte gray and has a bit more dimension than black, right? If you paint black, the recesses are black, the raised areas are black, but this one, the recesses will actually appear black and the raised areas will appear dark matte gray. So it has some dimension, and it's from Reaper, it's nice and thin. I love the coverage. But the key is when painting over white primer, as always, especially with a dark color, you have to get complete coverage of the surface. If you don't, like if you miss a spot with a white primer, all of a sudden you'll have white shadows on a black surface, and that just doesn't make any sense, right? You have to have darker shadows than the raised surfaces. So the key is to get a nice solid coat of this gray liner, or any paint you're doing, over the hair at a time, right? And you can choose with Chibi colors. We can basically paint any color on the hair you want. The reason why I'm going with a black or a mimic black is because it's Frankenstein. Makes sense. But with Chibi, since they have a very anime style to them, you can actually paint in any color: blue, red, orange, and you can actually get away with it. It's a lot of fun. So as you can see, I'm just getting a nice solid coat of this gray liner over the model, taking my time and being very careful, because I don't want to get any paint on the nice face that we took so long to get nice, right? You want to be careful, especially with every prevailing step. So yeah, I'm having a great time bringing this Chibi miniature to life. So now that that's completely done and dry, I'm going to take a little bit of Ghost White, also from Reaper, and I'm going to start doing a highlight coat. Now, the first thing that I'm going to talk about painting Chibi miniatures is that one of the common styles is to leave the very bottoms of the hair darker. It's just to mimic that anime style. It's also just due to some really interesting shadowing that will appear on this guy. As you can see, it's such a bulbous head. So I'm going to intentionally leave the very bottom parts, the very bottom, like probably 15% of the hair, the original gray liner, and I'm going to work my way upwards with a lighter color. I'm also going to work obviously away from the recesses, so all the raised surfaces will have this combination of Ghost White and gray liner, and the recess will be just the gray liner itself. So that's what we're going to do. And then after that is completely done, I'm going to do just a couple prevailing coats, one of them off camera, just building my way upwards away from the recesses, and then just building up this light color, leaving, as I said, the very base of the hair, very bottom of the hair, the gray liner. That's about it, and then we're going to create our light halo. Now while I'm painting that, I was actually looking at how my light source interacted with the wet paint. Because as you can see, we're going to create a light halo, which is kind of mimicking a light source hitting it, which is the other frequent style that people paint on Chibi miniatures, once again to mimic anime. So right now I'm just kind of masking out in my head where the light source is hitting this miniature from a straight on angle, and then or from an upward angle, and then I'm going to, with my brush, the first step, I'm going to add a little bit more Ghost White, so now it's a lighter gray, and I'm going to etch it out on the miniature. Now the key is to have try to get as straight of a line as possible, or as clean of a line. Now obviously the hair is not symmetrical. I typically focus my light halos on the raised surfaces, leaving the recesses continue to be shaded. And then as I'm trying to go with a nice, or as clean of a circle around the hair as possible. And I understand obviously the hair is not symmetrical and it's not a perfect circle of head, so it's okay. But as you see, I'm just trying to trace out a pattern, and that's going to be the light halo essentially. So what I'm going to do is with each prevailing step, go lighter and lighter, inner and inner with this light source. And with each step, as I said, I'm going to work my way with a thinner line around the light halo, around the very center of the halo. So with each step, I'm going to add a little more Ghost White to this combination of gray liner and Ghost White, working my lighter and lighter gray, and work my way more inner on the halo. So as you can see, just a thinner line around the halo, and that's essentially it. As you can see, it's already really coming together and producing that really cool light effect on the miniature. Like, it looks like a light source is hitting it on, because it's a light halo. It makes sense. And this is a very frequent style, as you see a lot of Chibi miniatures will have that halo on the top of their head. And yeah, it's a very easy effect to accomplish. I recommend afterwards maybe blending a little bit, going back. That's why I always use a wet palette. You can go back with your previous combinations and just blend it slightly better so it's a little bit more smooth and not as choppy. But that, as I said, it's a very easy effect to accomplish. And that's it. So as you can see, it just after a little bit of cleanup that I did a little off camera, but that's not much at all. The light halo is done. And this is a very simple way of painting chibi hair. First of all, keep that dark band around the bottom. Again, you'll see that very frequently on chibi hairs, mimicking anime. And the other thing is the light halo. As you can see, I can adjust it and the light halo stays there. It originally just looks like a light source is hitting it from the top, but it's actually just a quick and easy effect. Start off with lighter color, work your way inwards, and you're in good shape. And that's chibi hair in a nutshell. I'll be showing another technique next week, of course, with texture. So thank you as always for watching this episode of Miniature Painting 101. I really hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for next week's episode, part 149, which is just around the corner. Leave comments in the comment section down below of what you want to see in future videos. I'll do my best to make sure that every suggestion happens. So stay tuned for more videos. Until next time, this is Jay saying, happy painting, everyone.